Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Books and Bites. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the Yìjīng,
The Yìjīng.
also known as the Book of Changes. It's one of those works shrouded in mystique, but we're going to try to cut through that and really understand its core wisdom.
Yeah, the Yìjīng is unique. It's not a straightforward narrative, but a system of divination built on 64 hexagrams.
Right. 64 hexagrams.
Each representing a specific situation or state of being.
And each hexagram is made up of 6 lines, either solid or broken, reflecting the interplay of yin and yang. It can seem incredibly complex at first glance, but the beauty is you don't need to be a fortune teller to grasp its wisdom.
Absolutely. The Yìjīng isn't about predicting the future in a literal sense. It's more about understanding the patterns of change and how to navigate them with grace and insight.
So what are some of the key themes that run through the Yìjīng?
Well, one of the most prominent themes is the concept of balance, specifically the balance between yin and yang. The Yìjīng emphasizes that every situation contains both light and dark, active and receptive.
Right, light and dark, yeah.
And that true wisdom lies in finding harmony between these opposing forces.
That makes sense. It's like that famous yin-yang symbol where the black and white halves are always intertwined, always in balance.
Exactly. Another key theme is accepting change. The Yìjīng recognizes that change is the only constant in the universe, and it encourages us to embrace this truth rather than resist it.
So it's not about fighting the current, but rather learning to surf the waves of life.
Exactly. And another crucial theme is the importance of right action. The Yìjīng emphasizes that our actions have consequences and encourages us to make choices that are aligned with our highest values.
Okay, so balance, acceptance of change, and right action. These are some of the foundational themes that weave through the entire Yìjīng.
Yes, and by understanding these themes, we can start to unlock the deeper wisdom contained within each of the 64 hexagrams.
So let's start at the beginning with the first hexagram, Tian. What insights does it offer?
Tian, represented by 6 solid lines, symbolizes pure yang energy. It's associated with heaven, creativity, and dynamic action.
That's quite a powerful start. It sounds like the Yìjīng is setting the stage for a journey of bold creation and initiative.
It is. Chen encourages us to embrace our potential, to step into our power, and to take bold action to manifest our dreams.
Yeah, manifest our dreams.
It reminds us that we are not passive victims of circumstance, but rather active creators of our reality.
This is really resonating with me. It reminds me of that famous line from the I Ching, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step."
That's a perfect analogy. Chen reminds us that even the most ambitious goals can be achieved if we break them down into smaller steps and take consistent action.
So we've got Chen representing dynamic action and the power of creative energy. What comes next in this journey through the Yìjīng?
Well, following Chen is Kun, the second hexagram. Kun is the opposite of Chen. It's made up of 6 broken lines and represents pure yin energy. It's associated with the earth, receptivity, and nurturing.
Ah, so it's like the yin to Chen's yang, the receptive force that balances the dynamic energy of creation.
Precisely. Kun reminds us that there are times for action and times for stillness, times for pushing forward, and times for allowing things to unfold naturally. It encourages us to cultivate patience, receptivity, and a deep connection to the earth.
This is making me think about the importance of listening to our intuition. Sometimes the wisest course of action is to surrender to the flow of life rather than trying to force things to happen.
Absolutely. Kun teaches us the power of yielding, of allowing ourselves to be guided by a wisdom that is greater than our own.
Okay, so we have Chen representing dynamic action and Kun embodying receptivity. These 2 foundational hexagrams seem to set the stage for the entire system of the Yìjīng.
They do. And it's this interplay between yin and yang, between action and receptivity, that we'll see reflected throughout the remaining 62 hexagrams.
This is fascinating. It's like we're getting a glimpse into the underlying code of the universe, the patterns that govern all of creation.
It is. And the more we explore the Yìjīng, the more we realize that it's not just a system of divination, but a profound philosophy of life.
Okay, so we've got the dynamic energy of Chen and the receptive wisdom of Kun. What comes next in this journey of exploration?
Well, moving on to hexagram 3, we encounter Chen, which represents the initial difficulties one might encounter on a new path. It speaks to the challenges and obstacles that often arise when we embark on a new endeavor or step outside our comfort zone.
So it's like a reminder that growth doesn't always come easy, that sometimes we have to face challenges and overcome obstacles to reach our full potential.
Exactly. Chun encourages us to be prepared for difficulties, to cultivate resilience, and to persevere stepping stones to greater growth and understanding.
This is really resonating with me. I'm thinking about how often we give up on our dreams because we encounter obstacles or setbacks along the way.
It's true. But Chun reminds us that difficulties are not a sign of failure, but rather an opportunity to learn to grow and to develop the strength and resilience we need to achieve our goals.
Okay, so Chun is a reminder that challenges are a natural part of the growth process. What comes next in this exploration of the Yìjīng?
Next, we encounter hexagram forming, which translates to youthful folly.
Youthful folly. Oh, we can all relate to that. Does this hexagram offer advice on how to avoid making foolish mistakes?
Meng acknowledges that youthful folly is a natural part of the learning process. It suggests that we all make mistakes, especially when we are young and inexperienced, but that these mistakes can be valuable learning opportunities if we approach them with humility and a willingness to learn.
So it's not about trying to be perfect, but rather about learning from our missteps and using them to grow wiser.
Exactly. Meng also highlights the importance of seeking guidance from those who have more experience and wisdom. It encourages us to be open to mentorship and to learn from the mistakes of others.
And that makes a lot of sense. It's like that saying, learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself.
That's a great way to put it. Meng reminds us that we don't have to reinvent the wheel and that seeking guidance from others can save us a lot of time and trouble.
Okay, so Ming is a reminder that youthful folly is part of the learning process, and that seeking guidance from mentors can help us navigate the challenges of life with more grace and wisdom.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we don't have to figure everything out on our own, and that there is wisdom in seeking support and guidance from those who have traveled the path before us.
This is really insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a framework for understanding not only ourselves, but also our relationships with others and the importance of community and mentorship.
It does, and this theme of interconnectedness and mutual support is one that we'll see reflected throughout the Yìjīng.
Okay, so we've got Qin for dynamic action, Kun for receptivity, Chun for navigating new beginnings, and Meng for youthful folly and the importance of mentorship. What comes next in this journey through the Yìjīng?
Well, next we delve into hexagram 5, Su.
Okay, what does Su represent?
Su is all about waiting. It emphasizes patience and the importance of timing.
Waiting. That doesn't sound as exciting as some of the other hexagrams we've discussed. Is Su telling us to just sit back and let life happen?
Not exactly. It's about recognizing that there are times for action and times for waiting.
So how do we know when it's time to act and when it's time to wait?
Su teaches us to discern those times wisely and to cultivate the strength to wait for the right moment to act. It reminds us that sometimes the wisest course of action is to be patient and to trust that things will unfold in their own time.
That makes sense. It's like that saying, good things come to those who wait.
Exactly. Su encourages us to cultivate patience, to trust the timing of life, and to believe that even when things seem delayed or uncertain, there is a greater plan at work.
This is a really valuable reminder in today's fast-paced world. We're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us to go, go, go. But Hughes reminds us that sometimes the wisest course of action is to slow down, to be patient, and to wait for the right moment to act.
Absolutely. It's about finding that delicate balance between action and stillness, between striving and surrendering.
Okay, so Hughes is a reminder that patience is a virtue, and that sometimes the wisest course of action is to wait for the right opportunity to present itself.
It is. It's about cultivating trust in the timing of life and believing that things will unfold as they should.
This is really insightful. I'm already feeling like I'm gaining a deeper understanding of the Yìjīng and how its wisdom can be applied to my own life.
That's wonderful to hear. It's truly a timeless system of wisdom that continues to offer guidance and insight for modern lives.
I'm eager to learn more. What awaits us in hexagram 6?
Hexagram 6 is sung, and it delves into the theme of conflict and dispute.
Conflict. Oh, that's something I think we can all relate to. Does Sung offer advice on how to win arguments or come out on top in conflicts?
Sung isn't about winning or losing. It encourages us to approach conflict with a spirit of understanding and to seek solutions that benefit all parties involved.
So it's about finding common ground and resolving disputes peacefully.
Yes, and it also emphasizes the importance of clear communication diplomacy and a willingness to compromise.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Often conflicts arise from misunderstandings or a lack of clear communication.
Exactly. Sung encourages us to listen carefully to others, to express our needs clearly and respectfully, and to be open to finding solutions that work for everyone involved.
This is really helpful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng can offer guidance for navigating even the most challenging situations in life, including conflicts and disagreements.
It can. And it reminds us that conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be an opportunity for growth, understanding, and deeper connection if we approach it with the right mindset.
That's a great perspective. So some is a reminder to approach conflict with understanding, to communicate clearly, and to seek win-win solutions.
It is. It's about finding harmony amidst discord and using conflict as an opportunity to strengthen relationships and create a more peaceful and just world.
This is so insightful. I can't wait to see what other gems of wisdom we uncover as we continue our deep dive into the I Ching.
Me too. It's a journey of discovery, and the more we explore, the more we uncover its hidden wisdom.
Okay, let's move on to hexagram 7 and see what wisdom it holds.
Hexagram 7 is Shi, which represents the army. It focuses on leadership discipline and the importance of working together towards a common goal.
The army. So is this hexagram a guide for military strategy?
Not exclusively. While Shi does offer insights into leadership and strategy, its wisdom extends far beyond the battlefield. It can be applied to any situation where teamwork, organization, and a clear sense of purpose are essential.
Okay, so it's about harnessing the power of collective action and working towards a common vision.
Exactly. And Shi also emphasizes the importance of having a strong leader who can inspire and guide the group towards success.
That makes sense. A leader who can unite and motivate a team can make all the difference.
Yes, and she also teaches about the importance of discipline, perseverance, and following through on our commitments. These qualities are essential for achieving any significant goal.
So it's not enough to just have a vision. We need the discipline and determination to bring it to fruition.
Precisely. And she also highlights the importance of recognizing and valuing the contributions of each individual within the group. Everyone has a role to play, and success depends on everyone working together harmoniously.
That's a powerful message. It reminds us that teamwork isn't about one person taking all the glory. It's about everyone contributing their unique talents and working together towards a common goal.
Exactly. And this concept of collaboration is crucial in all aspects of life, from families and communities to businesses and organizations.
This is so insightful. She is making me think about how I approach teamwork and leadership in my own life.
That's great. The I Ching is all about prompting self-reflection and encouraging us to apply its wisdom to our own lives.
I'm eager to continue exploring these hexagrams and uncovering more of the I Ching's wisdom. What awaits us in hexagram 8?
Hexagram 8 is called Pi, and it symbolizes union, connection, and the importance of finding our place within a larger group or community.
This sounds like a nice change of pace after the intensity of the army hexagram. Is Pi all about peace and harmony?
It is about finding harmony and connection, but it also recognizes that true unity requires effort and a willingness to adjust our own perspectives and needs to fit within the larger group.
So it's not about everyone being exactly the same, but rather about finding a way to coexist and support one another.
Exactly. Pi emphasizes the importance of respecting differences, valuing individual contributions, and working together for the good of the whole.
That's a beautiful message. It reminds me of that saying, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes, and Pi also highlights the importance of loyalty, trust, and clear communication within a group. These qualities are essential for building strong and lasting bonds.
Okay, so Pi is a reminder that we are social creatures who thrive in connection with others. By fostering strong relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, we can create a sense of belonging and shared purpose.
That's a great summary of Pi's message. And this theme of connection is essential throughout the Yìjīng. It reminds us that we are all interconnected and that our individual actions have ripple effects throughout the web of life.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers guidance on navigating not only our personal lives, but also our relationships with others and our role within the larger community.
It does. It's a holistic system that addresses all aspects of the human experience, from our inner world to our outer relationships and our place within the cosmos.
I'm eager to keep learning. What awaits us in hexagram 9?
Hexagram 9 is Xiao, which translates to small taming. It speaks to a time of small restraints and the need for careful, measured action.
Small taming. That sounds intriguing, but also a bit cryptic. What exactly is being tamed?
It's not so much about taming something external, but rather about taming our own impulses, desires, and ambitions. Xiao suggests a time when it's wise to proceed cautiously and focus on refining our skills and strategies.
So it's like a time for planning, preparation, and laying the groundwork for future endeavors.
Precisely. It's a time for cultivating patience, discipline, and attention to detail. It's about honing our craft and waiting for the right opportunity to act decisively.
This reminds me of that saying, slow and steady wins the race.
Yes, and Xiaochu also highlights the importance of staying focused on our goals and not getting sidetracked by distractions or temptations.
So it's about staying disciplined and resisting the urge to rush ahead before we're fully prepared.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that true success takes time and effort, and that sometimes the wisest course of action is to exercise restraint and focus on making small incremental progress.
Okay, Xiaochu is a valuable reminder that patience and preparation are key to achieving our goals. Sometimes it's better to hold back and focus on mastering the fundamentals before taking big leaps.
Absolutely. And this concept of mastering the fundamentals is another recurring theme in the Yìjīng. It emphasizes the importance of building a strong foundation for all our endeavors, whether personal or professional.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a roadmap for success in all areas of life.
It does, and it also reminds us that success isn't just about achieving external goals, it's also about cultivating inner strength, wisdom, and virtue.
That's a beautiful message. It highlights the importance of aligning our actions with our values and striving for both personal and professional fulfillment.
Exactly. The Yìjīng encourages us to live a life of meaning and purpose, guided by wisdom, integrity, and a deep connection to the natural world.
I'm eager to continue our journey and uncover more of the Yìjīng's timeless wisdom.
Right.
What awaits us in hexagram 10?
Hexagram 10 is Lu, which means treading. It symbolizes cautious progress, navigating potentially dangerous situations with grace and awareness.
Treading. So is this hexagram advising us to walk on eggshells and avoid taking risks?
Not necessarily. Lu acknowledges that life is full of potential pitfalls and that it's wise to proceed with caution and awareness, but it's not about letting fear paralyze us. It's about navigating challenges with grace and discernment.
So it's about being mindful of our surroundings and making calculated moves.
Exactly. Lu encourages us to be observant, to assess risks carefully, and to proceed with humility and respect for the potential dangers.
It sounds like a call to balance courage with caution and to avoid reckless behavior.
Yes, and Lu also highlights the importance of learning from our mistakes and adjusting our course as needed. It reminds us that setbacks are a natural part of life and that we can learn valuable lessons from our missteps.
Okay, so Lu is a reminder to tread carefully through life, but also to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and learning.
Precisely. It's about finding a balance between taking calculated risks and protecting ourselves from unnecessary harm.
This is so helpful. I can already see how Lu can help me navigate challenging situations with more grace and wisdom.
That's great to hear. Remember, the Yìjīng offers guidance for all of life's journeys, both big and small. It's a source of wisdom that we can tap into whenever we need support and direction.
I'm excited to continue our exploration. What awaits us in hexagram 11?
Hexagram 11 is Tai, which symbolizes peace and prosperity. It speaks to a time of harmony, balance, and abundance.
Peace and prosperity. That sounds lovely. Is this hexagram a sign that all our troubles are over?
Well, it doesn't quite promise a life free from challenges, but Tai does represent a time of great potential for growth and fulfillment. It signifies a period where things are aligned and we can experience a sense of ease and flow in our lives.
So it's like a time when we can reap the rewards of our previous efforts and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Exactly. Tai represents a time when we're in sync with the natural rhythm of life and everything seems to fall into place effortlessly.
That sounds idyllic. What advice does Tai offer for making the most of this harmonious period?
It encourages us to stay grounded, to appreciate the good fortune we're experiencing, and to continue cultivating positive actions that will sustain this period of peace and prosperity.
So it's not about taking it for granted, but rather about recognizing the blessings and continuing to nurture the conditions that support this harmonious state.
Precisely. Tai also reminds us that even during times of peace and prosperity, it's important to remain vigilant and prepared for potential challenges.
Right. It's like that saying, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Exactly. Tai encourages us to enjoy the good times, but also to stay grounded and ready to adapt to any changes that may come our way.
This is so insightful. Tai is a reminder to appreciate the good times, but also to stay balanced and adaptable. Life is constantly changing, and even periods of peace and prosperity are eventually followed by new challenges.
That's a great takeaway. The Yìjīng reminds us that change is the only constant, and that by embracing this truth, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience.
I'm loving this deep dive into the Yìjīng. What awaits us in hexagram 12?
Hexagram 12 is P, which symbolizes standstill or stagnation. It speaks to a time when things are blocked and progress is difficult.
We'll stand still. That doesn't sound as fun as peace and prosperity.
Yeah.
Is P a sign that we're doomed to fail?
Not at all. Remember, the Yìjīng is about understanding and navigating change. P simply indicates a time when things are not flowing smoothly. Doesn't mean we're doomed, but it does suggest that we need to adjust our approach.
So it's a sign that something isn't working and we need to figure out what's blocking our progress.
Exactly. Pia encourages us to step back, assess the situation, and identify the obstacles that are preventing us from moving forward.
It sounds like a time for introspection, reflection, and perhaps even a change of strategy.
Yes, and PA also highlights the importance of patience and perseverance during challenging times. It reminds us that setbacks are often temporary, and that by staying committed to our goals and adapting our approach, we can overcome obstacles and eventually find our way back to a state of flow.
So it's about seeing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than as signs of defeat.
Precisely. The Yìjīng encourages us to view obstacles as part of the journey, not as roadblocks that prevent us from reaching our destination.
KP is a reminder that even when things feel stuck, there's always a way forward. It's about staying positive, adaptable, and committed to finding solutions.
That's a great way to summarize PI's message, and this theme of resilience and adaptability is essential throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to embrace change, to learn from our experiences, and to keep moving forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain.
This is so inspiring. The Yìjīng is offering such a hopeful and empowering perspective on life's challenges.
It is, and it reminds us that we have the inner strength and resilience to overcome adversity and emerge from challenging times stronger and wiser.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 13?
Hexagram 13 is called Tungjen, which translates to fellowship with men. It speaks to the power of collaboration, community, and shared purpose.
Fellowship with men. That sounds like a welcome shift after the standstill of P. Is this hexagram suggesting that we should seek help from others to overcome our challenges?
Tungjen does highlight the importance of connecting with others and working together towards common goals. It recognizes that we are social creatures who thrive in community and that we can achieve much more when we collaborate with others who share our values and vision.
So it's about recognizing that we don't have to go it alone and that there's strength in numbers.
Exactly. Tungjen encourages us to build relationships with like-minded individuals, to share our knowledge and resources, and to work together to create positive change in the world.
It sounds like a call to community involvement and active participation in groups or organizations that align with our values.
Yes, and Tungjen also emphasizes the importance of clear communication, mutual respect, and a shared sense of purpose. These qualities are essential for creating strong and harmonious relationships.
Okay, so Tungjen is a reminder that we are stronger together. By connecting with others, collaborating on shared goals, and fostering a sense of community, we can achieve great things and make a positive impact on the world.
That's a great summary of Tungjen's message, and this theme of interconnectedness and collaboration is central to the Yìjīng's philosophy. It reminds us that we are all part of a larger web of life, and that our individual actions have ripple effects throughout this web.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a roadmap for not only navigating our own lives, but also for contributing to a better world.
It does, and it reminds us that we have the power to create positive change, both individually and collectively.
I'm eager to keep learning. What awaits us in hexagram 14?
Hexagram 14 is Ta Yu, which means great possessing. It speaks to a time of abundance, good fortune, and the fulfillment of our potential.
Great possessing. That sounds promising. Does this hexagram signify a time of wealth and material possessions?
While Ta Yu can certainly be associated with material abundance, its meaning goes far beyond that. It speaks to a state of inner richness, where we are aligned with our purpose and experiencing a sense of fulfillment and joy in our lives.
So it's more about inner wealth than just external possessions.
Exactly. Ta Yu suggests a time when our talents, skills, and efforts are bearing fruit, and we are experiencing a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
What advice does Ta Yu offer for making the most of this time of abundance?
It encourages us to share our good fortune with others, to use our resources wisely, and to continue cultivating positive actions that will sustain this period of growth and prosperity.
So it's about recognizing that abundance isn't just about accumulating wealth for ourselves. It's also about using our resources to make a positive impact on the world.
Precisely. Ta Yu reminds us that true wealth lies in our ability to contribute to something larger than ourselves, whether through our work, our relationships, or our service to others.
This is so inspiring. Ta Yu's a reminder to celebrate our achievements, but also to use our good fortune to benefit others and make a positive difference in the world.
That's a beautiful summary of Taiyu's message. And this theme of sharing our abundance and using our resources wisely is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life of generosity and purpose, recognizing that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the well-being of others.
I love how the Yìjīng offers such practical and ethical guidance for navigating life. What awaits us in hexagram 15?
Hexagram 15 is Qian, which translates to modesty or humility. It speaks to the importance of staying grounded, recognizing our limitations, and approaching life with a humble and open heart.
Humility. That's an interesting contrast to the abundance of great possessing. Is Chan suggesting that we should downplay our achievements and avoid standing out?
Not at all. Qian isn't about denying our accomplishments or shrinking back from our potential. It's about recognizing that true strength lies in humility, recognizing that we are all interconnected and approaching life with a spirit of gratitude and respect for others.
So it's about balancing confidence with humility and recognizing that we are all part of a larger whole.
Exactly. Qian encourages us to acknowledge our strengths, but also to recognize our weaknesses and to be open to learning from others. It reminds us that arrogance and egotism can lead to downfall, while humility and a willingness to learn from others can pave the way for continued growth and success.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like that saying, pride comes before the fall.
Yes, and Qian also highlights the importance of staying true to our values even when we achieve success or recognition. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes from living a life of integrity and purpose, not from chasing external validation.
Okay, so Qian's a reminder that true strength lies in humility. By staying grounded, acknowledging our limitations, and approaching life with an open heart, we can cultivate lasting success and fulfillment.
That's a great summary of Qian's message. And this theme of humility is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to approach life with a sense of balance and perspective, recognizing that we are all interconnected and that true fulfillment comes from contributing to something larger than ourselves.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a roadmap for living a life of meaning and purpose.
It does, and it reminds us that by aligning our actions with our values and cultivating a sense of humility and gratitude, we can create a life of both personal and collective fulfillment.
I can't wait to continue our journey through the Yìjīng. What awaits us in hexagram 16?
Hexagram 16 is Yu, which symbolizes enthusiasm and joyful action. It speaks to a time of inspiration, creativity, and the pursuit of our passions.
Enthusiasm. That sounds like a fun one. Is you all about following our bliss and doing what we love?
It is about embracing our passions and expressing ourselves creatively, but Yu also emphasizes the importance of channeling our enthusiasm in a way that benefits others and contributes to the greater good.
So it's not just about indulging our whims, but rather about using our passions to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. Yu encourages us to find joy in our work, to pursue our dreams with passion and commitment, and to use our creativity to make a difference in the lives of others.
That's a beautiful message. It suggests that our passions can be a source of both personal fulfillment and positive change in the world.
Yes. And Yu also reminds us that true happiness comes from aligning our actions with our values and using our talents to make a meaningful contribution.
Okay, so you is an invitation to embrace our passions, to express ourselves creatively, and to channel our enthusiasm in a way that benefits both ourselves and others.
That's a great summary of Yu's message. And this theme of finding joy in our work and using our talents to make a difference is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is both personally fulfilling and socially responsible.
I'm loving how the Yìjīng offers guidance for finding both personal happiness and a sense of purpose in the world. What awaits us in hexagram 17?
Hexagram 17 is called Sui, which translates to following. It speaks to the importance of adaptability, flexibility, and aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life.
Following. So is this hexagram telling us to just go with the flow and not make any plans?
Not exactly. Sui recognizes that there are times when it's more effective to adapt to changing circumstances than to try to force our own agenda. It's about being flexible, open to new possibilities, and willing to adjust our course as needed.
So it's about finding a balance between having a clear direction and being open to detours along the way.
Precisely. Sui encourages us to set intentions, but also to be willing to let go of attachments to specific outcomes. It reminds us that sometimes the path to our goals unfolds in unexpected ways, and that by embracing the unexpected, we can discover opportunities we might have otherwise missed.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. It reminds me of that quote, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yes, and Sui also highlights the importance of trusting our intuition and being willing to follow our inner guidance, even when it leads us in a direction we didn't anticipate.
Okay, so Sui is a reminder to be adaptable, to embrace the unexpected, and to trust that life is unfolding as it should.
That's a great summary of Sue's message. And this theme of adaptability is crucial throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to view change as an opportunity for growth and evolution, rather than something to be feared or resisted.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yi King can help us navigate the uncertainties of life with more grace and ease.
It can, and it reminds us that we have the inner strength and wisdom to adapt to any circumstance and to find our way back to a state of balance and harmony.
I'm ready to keep exploring. What awaits us in hexagram 18?
Hexagram 18 is ku, which translates to work on what has been spoiled or decay. It suggests a time of decline, corruption, or a need to address and correct past mistakes.
Decay. That sounds a bit ominous. Is coup a sign that things are falling apart and there's nothing we can do to stop it?
Not necessarily. Ku recognizes that all things go through cycles of growth and decline, and that periods of decay or corruption are often necessary for renewal and transformation. It's not about giving up or accepting defeat, but rather about acknowledging the need for change and taking action to address the underlying issues.
So it's about recognizing when things are out of balance and taking steps to restore harmony and order.
Exactly. Ku encourages us to be honest with ourselves about what's not working, to identify the root causes of problems, and to take decisive action to correct them. It reminds us that we have the power to turn things around even when they seem to be falling apart.
It sounds like a time for introspection, accountability, and making amends for past mistakes.
Yes, and Ku also highlights the importance of seeking support from others during challenging times. It reminds us that we don't have to go it alone, and that there's strength in asking for help and guidance.
Okay, so coup is a reminder that even during times of decline or corruption, there's always hope for renewal and transformation. It's about taking responsibility for our actions, addressing underlying problems, and seeking support from others when needed.
That's a great summary of Ku's message. And this theme of renewal and transformation is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and to trust that even in the darkest of times, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
This is so inspiring. The Yi King is offering such a hopeful and empowering perspective on life's challenges.
It is, and it reminds us that we have the inner strength and resilience to overcome adversity and emerge from challenging times stronger and wiser.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 19?
Hexagram 19 is Lin, which translates to approach. It symbolizes a time of progress, advancement, and the fulfillment of our goals.
Approach. So is this hexagram a sign that we're on the right track and everything is going according to plan?
Lin does suggest a time of forward momentum and positive development. It signifies a period where our efforts are being recognized and we are making progress towards our goals.
That sounds encouraging. What advice does Lynn offer for making the most of this time of progress and advancement?
It encourages us to stay focused on our goals, to continue working hard, and to remain humble and grateful for the opportunities that are coming our way.
So it's about enjoying the success, but also staying grounded and remembering that continued effort is required to maintain this positive momentum.
Exactly. Lynn also reminds us that true success isn't just about achieving external goals, it's also about cultivating inner growth and developing our character.
Right. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves, not just achieving accolades or material possessions.
Yes, and Lynn also highlights the importance of sharing our success with others and using our resources and influence to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so Lynn is a reminder to celebrate our achievements, but also to stay humble, to keep working hard, and to use our success to benefit others.
That's a great summary of Lynn's message. And this theme of using our success to make a positive difference is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to view our achievements not as an end in themselves, but as a means to contribute to something larger than ourselves.
This is so inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how the Yi King offers a holistic approach to success, encompassing both personal fulfillment and social responsibility.
It does, and it reminds us that true success is about aligning our actions with our values and using our talents and resources to make a positive impact on the world.
I can't wait to continue our exploration. What awaits us in hexagram 20?
Hexagram 20 is Quan, which translates to contemplation or view. It speaks to the importance of observation, reflection, and gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
Contemplation. So is this hexagram suggesting that we should take a break from action and just sit and think?
Quan does encourage introspection and reflection, but it's not about withdrawing from the world or becoming passive. It's about cultivating a mindful awareness of ourselves and our surroundings so we can make more informed and conscious choices.
So it's about taking a step back to gain a clearer perspective on things.
Exactly. Quan encourages us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment, to listen to our inner guidance, and to pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that life is presenting to us.
It sounds like a call to mindfulness and cultivating a deeper connection to our inner wisdom.
Yes, and Quan also highlights the importance of learning from others and seeking wisdom from those who have more experience or knowledge.
Right. It's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers and that there's always something to learn from others.
Exactly. And Quan also encourages us to approach life with a sense of curiosity and wonder, to be open to new perspectives, and to continually expand our understanding of the world.
Okay, so Quan is a reminder to slow down, to pay attention, and to cultivate a mindful awareness of ourselves and the world around us. It's about seeking wisdom, both from within and from others, and approaching life with a sense of curiosity and wonder.
That's a beautiful summary of Quan's message. And this theme of mindfulness and self-reflection is essential throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to live with intention, to make conscious choices, and to continually strive to understand ourselves and our place in the universe.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng can be a guide for not only navigating the external world, but also for cultivating inner peace and wisdom.
It can, and it reminds us that true fulfillment comes from aligning our actions with our values and living a life that is both meaningful and purposeful.
I'm ready to keep exploring. What awaits us in hexagram 21?
Hexagram 21 is shiho, which means biting through. It symbolizes overcoming obstacles, breaking through barriers, and achieving success through determined action.
Biting through. So is this hexagram about using brute force to get what we want?
Not necessarily. While shiho does emphasize the need for strong and decisive action, it's not about aggression or domination. It's about using our willpower, determination, and inner strength to overcome challenges and achieve our goals.
So it's about recognizing that sometimes we need to push through resistance to reach our full potential.
Exactly. Shiho encourages us to face our fears, to challenge our limiting beliefs, and to take bold action when necessary. It reminds us that we have the inner resources to overcome any obstacle that stands in our way.
It sounds like a call to courage, perseverance, and unwavering determination.
Yes. And Shiho also highlights the importance of having a clear vision of our goals and a strategic plan for achieving them. It reminds us that success requires not only willpower, but also careful planning and execution.
Right. It's not enough to just want something. We also need to have a clear idea of how to get there and a plan to make it happen.
Exactly. And Shiho also encourages us to seek support from others when needed, recognizing that collaboration and teamwork can amplify our efforts and help us achieve even greater success.
Okay, so Shiho is a reminder that we have the inner strength to overcome any challenge and achieve our goals,
Right.
but it also emphasizes the importance of clear vision, strategic planning, and collaboration with others.
That's a great summary of Shiho's message. And this theme of overcoming obstacles and achieving success through determined action is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to embrace challenges, to develop our inner strength, and to persevere until we achieve our desired outcomes.
This is so empowering. The Yìjīng really offers a guide for living a life of purpose and accomplishment.
It is, and it reminds us that we have the potential to achieve great things if we set our minds to it and are willing to put in the effort.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 22?
Hexagram 22 is pi, which translates to grace or adornment. It symbolizes beauty, refinement, and the cultivation of elegance and harmony in our lives.
Grace. That sounds lovely. Does this hexagram suggest that we should focus on outward appearances and superficial beauty?
Not exactly. While pi does acknowledge the importance of beauty and aesthetics, it's not about superficiality or vanity. It's about cultivating an inner sense of grace, harmony, and refinement that extends to all aspects of our lives.
So it's about creating a sense of beauty and balance in our thoughts, actions, and surroundings.
Precisely. Pi encourages us to appreciate the beauty in the world around us, to cultivate our artistic sensibilities, and to express ourselves with grace and elegance.
It sounds like a call to cultivate both inner and outer beauty.
Yes, and Pi also highlights the importance of cultivating positive relationships and creating harmonious environments. It reminds us that beauty isn't just about aesthetics, it's also about creating spaces and relationships that feel good to be in.
Right? It's about surrounding ourselves with people and things that uplift and inspire us.
Exactly. And Pi also encourages us to pay attention to the details, to appreciate the small things, and to find beauty in the everyday moments.
Okay, so pi is a reminder to cultivate beauty and grace in all areas of our lives, from our inner world to our relationships and our physical surroundings.
That's a great summary of Pi's message. And this theme of cultivating beauty and harmony is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is aesthetically pleasing, emotionally fulfilling, and spiritually enriching.
This is so inspiring. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a holistic approach to well-being, encompassing all aspects of our lives.
It does, and it reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment come from cultivating beauty and balance in both our inner and outer worlds.
I can't wait to continue our journey. What awaits us in hexagram 23?
Hexagram 23 is Po, which translates to splitting apart or stripping away. It symbolizes a time of breakdown, disintegration, or the need to let go of what no longer serves us.
Splitting apart. That sounds a bit intense.
Yeah.
Is this hexagram a sign that everything is falling apart and there's no hope for recovery?
Not necessarily. Poe recognizes that sometimes things need to fall apart in order to be rebuilt stronger and better.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of what is no longer working, clearing away the debris of the past, and creating space for something new to emerge.
So it's about recognizing when something has run its course and needs to end.
Exactly. Poe encourages us to be honest with ourselves about what's no longer serving us, whether it's a relationship, a job, a belief system, or a habit. It's about having the courage to let go of what's holding us back and embracing the opportunity for change and transformation.
It sounds like a time for decluttering, both physically and emotionally.
Yes, and Pro also highlights the importance of surrendering to the natural process of change and trusting that even though things may feel chaotic or uncertain, there's a greater order at work.
Right. It's about having faith that even when things fall apart, something better can emerge from the ruins.
Exactly. And Poe also encourages us to seek support from others during times of transition, recognizing that we don't have to go through difficult experiences alone.
Okay, so Poe is a reminder that endings are a natural part of life,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
sometimes things need to fall apart before they can be rebuilt stronger and better. It's about letting go of what no longer serves us, surrendering to the process of change, and trusting that something new and beautiful can emerge from the ashes of the old.
That's a beautiful summary of Poe's message. And this theme of letting go and embracing change is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and to trust that even when things feel difficult, there's a greater purpose at work.
This is so insightful. The Yìjīng is offering such a wise and compassionate perspective on life's inevitable ups and downs.
It is, and it reminds us that we have the inner strength and resilience to navigate any transition and to emerge from challenging times stronger and wiser.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 24?
Hexagram 24 is Fu, which translates to return or the turning point. It symbolizes renewal, fresh starts, and the cyclical nature of life.
Return. So is this hexagram about going back to the past or repeating old patterns?
Not necessarily. While Fu does acknowledge the cyclical nature of life and the importance of learning from the past, it's not about dwelling on old mistakes or trying to recreate what was. It's about recognizing that life is constantly renewing itself and that every ending is also a new beginning.
So it's about embracing the fresh starts that life inevitably offers.
Exactly. Fu encourages us to approach each new cycle with a sense of optimism and possibility, recognizing that we have the power to create a brighter future. It reminds us that even after periods of darkness or difficulty, the light will always return.
It sounds like a call to hope renewal and embracing the cyclical nature of life.
Yes, and Fu also highlights the importance of letting go of the past and moving forward with a clean slate. It reminds us that we are not defined by our past mistakes and that we have the power to create a new and better version of ourselves with each new cycle.
Right. It's about learning from our experiences, but not letting them define us or hold us back.
Exactly. And Fu also encourages us to be mindful of the seeds we plant with each new beginning, recognizing that our thoughts, actions, and intentions will shape the course of our future.
Okay, so Fu is a reminder that life is constantly renewing itself and that every ending is also a new beginning. It's about embracing fresh starts, letting go of the past, and setting positive intentions for the future.
That's a great summary of Fu's message. And this theme of renewal and fresh starts is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It encourages us to approach life with a sense of hope and possibility, recognizing that we have the power to create a brighter future for ourselves and the world.
This is so inspiring. The Yìjīng is offering such a positive and empowering perspective on life's journey.
It is, and it reminds us that we are not passive victims of circumstance, but rather active creators of our own reality.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 25?
Hexagram 25 is Wu Wang, which translates to innocence or without embroiling. It symbolizes purity, sincerity, and acting in accordance with our true nature.
Innocence. So is this hexagram telling us to be naive and ignore the complexities of life?
Not exactly. Wu Wang doesn't advocate for naivety or ignorance. It speaks to a state of inner purity and sincerity that allows us to navigate life's challenges with integrity and authenticity. It's about aligning our actions with our highest values and living from a place of genuine goodness.
So it's about being true to ourselves and acting in accordance with our conscience.
Precisely, Wu Wang encourages us to cultivate a clear conscience, to be honest with ourselves and others, and to avoid actions that would compromise our integrity. It reminds us that true strength comes from living in alignment with our highest values.
It sounds like a call to ethical behavior and living a life of integrity.
Yes, and Wu Wang also highlights the importance of trusting our intuition and following our inner guidance. It suggests that when we are in alignment with our true nature, we are more likely to make choices that are both wise and beneficial.
Right. It's about listening to that inner voice that tells us what's right and wrong.
Exactly. And Wu Wang also encourages us to approach life with a sense of openness and curiosity, to be willing to learn from our mistakes, and to continually strive to live in a way that reflects our highest aspirations.
Okay, so Wu Wang is a reminder to cultivate inner purity, to act with integrity, and to trust our intuition. It's about aligning our actions with our highest values and living a life that is both authentic and ethical.
That's a great summary of Wu Wang's message. And this theme of living authentically and ethically is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is congruent with our values and to strive to make a positive impact on the world through our actions.
This is so inspiring. I'm seeing more and more how the Yìjīng offers guidance for living a life of purpose and meaning.
It does, and it reminds us that by aligning our actions with our highest values and cultivating inner purity and integrity, we can create a life that is both personally fulfilling and socially responsible.
I can't wait to continue our journey. What awaits us in hexagram 26?
Hexagram 26 is Ta Chu, which translates to great taming or great accumulation. It symbolizes harnessing and directing our energy towards great endeavors, often involving patience and the support of others.
Great taming. Does this mean we need to suppress our desires and passions in order to achieve great things?
Not necessarily. Ta Chu isn't about suppressing our energy, but rather about channeling it effectively. It's about harnessing our willpower, discipline, and inner resources and directing them towards a worthy goal. It suggests that great accomplishments require not only inspiration and passion, but also patience, perseverance, and the ability to delay gratification.
So it's about having a clear vision and the discipline to stay focused on the long game.
Exactly. Ta Chu encourages us to set ambitious goals, to develop a strategic plan for achieving them, and to be willing to work steadily towards our desired outcome, even when progress seems slow or challenging. It reminds us that great things often take time and that perseverance is key to achieving lasting success.
It sounds like a call to both vision and action.
Yes, and Ta Chu also highlights the importance of seeking guidance and support from others when needed. It reminds us that collaboration and teamwork can amplify our efforts and help us achieve even greater success.
Right. It's about recognizing that we don't have to go it alone and that there's strength in seeking help and learning from others who have experience and wisdom.
Exactly, and Ta Chu also encourages us to cultivate a positive mindset and to believe in our ability to achieve great things. It reminds us that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality, and that by believing in ourselves, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve our dreams.
Okay, so Ta Chu is a reminder that great accomplishments require not only passion, but also discipline, perseverance, and a willingness to work steadily towards our goals. It's about channeling our energy, effectively seeking guidance and support from others when needed, and believing in our ability to achieve great things.
That's a great summary of Ta Chu's message. And this theme of channeling our energy effectively and achieving success through persistent effort is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to be ambitious, to set challenging goals, and to persevere until we achieve our desired outcomes.
This is so empowering. The Yìjīng really offers a blueprint for achieving greatness in life.
It does, and it reminds us that we have the potential to accomplish anything we set our minds to if we are willing to cultivate the necessary discipline, perseverance, and belief in ourselves.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 27?
Hexagram 27 is I, which translates to corners of the mouth, or nourishment. It traditionally symbolizes the providing of sustenance and guidance, though many interpret it more broadly in modern times, to represent our individual needs and desires.
Corners of the mouth. That's an interesting name for a hexagram. Is this about speaking our truth and expressing ourselves authentically?
Traditionally, I was associated with the image of an open mouth ready to receive nourishment. It represented the ruler's duty to provide for the people, ensuring they had the resources and guidance they needed to thrive. However, many modern interpretations focus more on what we take in both physically and mentally as individuals. It invites us to examine our own needs and desires and to seek fulfillment in a balanced and wholesome way.
So it's about both giving and receiving nourishment, whether it's physical sustenance, emotional support, or intellectual stimulation.
Exactly. I encourages us to be mindful of what we consume, to seek out experiences that nourish our body, mind, and spirit, and to be generous in sharing our resources and support with others. It also reminds us that true fulfillment comes from finding a balance between satisfying our own needs and contributing to the well-being of others.
It sounds like a call to self-care and mindful consumption.
Yes, and I also highlights the importance of discernment and choosing wisely when it comes to what we allow into our lives. It encourages us to be selective about the information we consume, the company we keep, and the activities we engage in, ensuring that they align with our values and contribute to our overall well-being.
Right. It's about being conscious of the choices we make and making sure they support our physical, emotional, and spiritual health.
Exactly. And I also encourages us to cultivate gratitude for the abundance in our lives and to appreciate the simple things that bring us joy.
Okay, so I as a reminder to nourish ourselves on all levels, to be mindful of what we consume, and to share our abundance with others. It's about finding a balance between taking care of ourselves and contributing to the well-being of those around us.
That's a great summary of I's message. And this theme of nourishment and balance is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is both personally fulfilling and socially responsible, recognizing that our well-being is interconnected with the well-being of others and the world around us.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yi King offers a holistic approach to health and happiness, encompassing not only our physical needs, but also our emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being.
It does, and it reminds us that by nurturing ourselves on all levels and living in alignment with our values, we can create a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful.
I'm ready to keep exploring
Yeah.
what awaits us in hexagram 28.
Hexagram 28 is takuo, which translates to preponderance of the great, or excess. It speaks to a time when things are out of balance and the usual order is disrupted.
Excess. That sounds a bit concerning. Does this hexagram warn against overindulgence or going overboard in our pursuits?
Takuo does caution against excess and reminds us that too much of a good thing can be detrimental. It suggests that when things are out of balance, it's important to identify the areas where we've gone overboard and take steps to restore equilibrium.
So it's about recognizing when our actions or behaviors have become excessive and taking steps to moderate them.
Exactly. Taku encourages us to examine our habits, routines, and thought patterns and to identify any areas where we may be overdoing it. It suggests that finding a sense of balance and moderation is essential for maintaining our well-being and preventing negative consequences.
It sounds like a call to self-awareness and making conscious choices to ensure our actions are aligned with our values and our overall well-being.
Yes, and Taku also highlights the importance of seeking support from others when we're struggling with excess or feeling overwhelmed. It reminds us that we don't have to go it alone and that there's strength in reaching out for help.
Right. It's about recognizing our limitations and seeking guidance when needed.
Exactly, and Taku also encourages us to cultivate a sense of gratitude and to appreciate the abundance in our lives. It reminds us that even when things feel challenging, there's always something to be thankful for.
Okay, so Taku is a reminder that balance and moderation are key to maintaining well-being. It encourages us to be mindful of our actions and behaviors, to seek support when needed, and to cultivate gratitude for the good things in our lives.
That's a great summary of Taku's message. And this theme of balance and moderation is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It reminds us that excess in any area of life can lead to negative consequences, and that finding a sense of equilibrium is essential for happiness and fulfillment.
This is so insightful. I'm starting to see how the Yi King offers practical guidance for living a balanced and harmonious life.
It does, and it reminds us that by making conscious choices and cultivating self-awareness, we can avoid the pitfalls of excess and create a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable.
I'm ready to keep exploring what awaits us in hexagram 29.
Hexagram 29 is Kan, which symbolizes the abyss or the abysmal. It often represents repeated danger or a challenging situation we must navigate with extreme care.
The abysmal. That sounds a bit terrifying. Is this hexagram a warning to avoid taking risks or venturing into unknown territory?
Khan doesn't necessarily advise against taking risks or exploring the unknown, but it does emphasize the importance of proceeding with caution and awareness when facing dangerous or challenging situations. It suggests that there are times when it's wise to be extra careful, to assess risks thoughtfully, and to avoid reckless behavior.
So it's about recognizing when we're in potentially treacherous waters and navigating them with skill and discernment.
Exactly. Khan encourages us to be observant, to trust our intuition, and to rely on our inner strength and resilience to navigate difficult circumstances. It reminds us that even in the face of danger, we have the resources to overcome challenges and emerge stronger and wiser.
Sounds like a call to courage, resilience, and trusting our inner compass.
Yes, and Khan also highlights the importance of seeking support and guidance from others when facing overwhelming challenges. It reminds us that we don't have to go it alone, and that there's strength in reaching out for help and learning from those who have experience in navigating similar situations.
Right. It's about recognizing that sometimes we need help to overcome obstacles, and that there's no shame in asking for assistance.
Exactly. And Khan also encourages us to maintain a positive mindset and to focus on the potential for growth and transformation that can emerge from challenging experiences. It reminds us that even the most difficult situations can be opportunities for learning, and that by facing our fears with courage and determination, we can overcome adversity and emerge stronger and more resilient.
Okay, so Khan is a reminder to proceed with caution when facing dangerous or challenging situations, to trust our intuition, to seek support when needed, and to maintain a positive mindset, recognizing the potential for growth that can emerge from adversity.
That's a great summary of Khan's message. And this theme of facing challenges with courage and resilience is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to embrace the inevitability of difficulties in life and to view them as opportunities for growth and transformation.
This is so empowering. The Yìjīng really offers a guide for navigating life's inevitable ups and downs with strength and grace.
It does, and it reminds us that we have the inner resources to overcome any challenge and to emerge from difficult experiences stronger and wiser.
I'm ready to keep exploring these hexagrams. What awaits us in hexagram 30?
Hexagram 30 is Li, which symbolizes fire, clarity, and clinging to what is right and true. It speaks to a time of illumination, inspiration, and the importance of following our inner light.
Fire. So, is this hexagram about passion, intensity, and burning away what no longer serves us?
Li does represent the transformative power of fire, but it's not about destructive burning. It's about the clarifying and illuminating aspect of fire, the way it can bring things into focus and reveal their true nature. It suggests that when we align ourselves with what is right and true, our path becomes clear and we can move forward with confidence and purpose.
So it's about finding our inner truth and letting it guide our actions.
Exactly. Lai encourages us to be honest with ourselves, to examine our beliefs and values, and to make choices that are congruent with our deepest sense of integrity. It reminds us that when we live in alignment with our truth, we radiate a brilliance that attracts positive opportunities and experiences into our lives.
It sounds like a call to authenticity and living a life that reflects our core values.
Yes, and Lai also highlights the importance of cultivating a positive mindset and focusing on the good things in our lives. It suggests that when we choose to focus on the light, we illuminate not only our own path, but also the path of others around us.
Right. It's about being a source of light and inspiration for ourselves and others.
Exactly. And Lee also encourages us to cultivate our creative potential and to express ourselves with passion and enthusiasm. It reminds us that our inner fire can be a source of great joy, creativity, and inspiration.
Okay, so Lee is a reminder to follow our inner light, to live in alignment with our truth, and to cultivate a positive mindset. It's about radiating brilliance, inspiring others, and expressing our creative potential with passion and enthusiasm.
That's a great summary of Lee's message. And this theme of illumination and inspiration is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is filled with purpose, meaning, and joy, recognizing that our inner light can guide us towards our highest potential and help us make a positive impact on the world.
This is so inspiring. I'm seeing more and more how the Yìjīng offers a guide for living a life that is both personally fulfilling and socially responsible.
It does, and it reminds us that by aligning our actions with our values and cultivating our inner light, we can create a life that is both meaningful and impactful.
I'm eager to keep exploring what awaits us in hexagram 31.
Hexagram 31 is I Ching, which translates to influence or wooing. It speaks to the power of attraction, connection, and the mutual influence that people have on each other.
Influence. So is this a hexagram about persuasion, manipulation, or trying to control others?
Not at all. I Ching recognizes that people naturally influence each other, and that relationships are a dynamic interplay of energies and perspectives. It's not about forcing our will on others, but rather about understanding the subtle ways we impact each other and using our influence in a positive and respectful way.
So it's about understanding the dynamics of relationships and using our influence to create positive connections.
Exactly. Hesiod encourages us to be mindful of how our words, actions, and energy impact those around us. It suggests that by cultivating qualities such as kindness, compassion, and integrity, we can naturally attract positive relationships and create harmonious interactions.
It sounds like a call to lead by example and to inspire others through our own positive actions and behaviors.
Yes, and Shan also highlights the importance of being receptive to the influence of others. It encourages us to be open to new perspectives, to learn from those who have different experiences, and to allow ourselves to be shaped and transformed by the relationships we form.
Right. It's about recognizing that we can learn and grow from everyone we encounter if we're open to it.
Exactly. And Xian also reminds us that relationships are a two-way street. It's not just about what we give to others, it's also about what we receive. It encourages us to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the people in our lives and to appreciate the unique gifts they bring.
Okay, so Sheen is a reminder that we are all interconnected and that our relationships have the power to shape and transform us. It's about using our influence in a positive way, being receptive to the influence of others, and cultivating gratitude for the people in our lives.
That's a beautiful summary of Xian's message.
Mm.
And this theme of interconnectedness and mutual influence is a recurring one throughout the Yìjīng. It reminds us that we are all part of a larger web of life and that our actions and interactions have ripple effects throughout this web.
This is so insightful. I'm seeing more and more how the Yìjīng offers a guide for not only navigating our personal lives, but also for creating harmonious relationships and contributing to a more positive and interconnected world.
It does, and it reminds us that by cultivating positive qualities within ourselves and extending kindness and compassion to others, we can create a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond our immediate circle.
I'm eager to keep exploring what awaits us in hexagram 32.
Hexagram 32 is Heng, which translates to duration or perseverance. It speaks to the importance of constancy, commitment, and staying true to our values over the long term.
Duration. So is this hexagram about resisting change and trying to hold on to things as they are?
Not exactly. Heng recognizes that change is inevitable, but suggests that there are certain principles and values that are worth upholding over time. It's about staying true to our core beliefs, commitments, and goals, even as the world around us shifts and evolves.
So it's about finding a balance between adapting to change and staying true to our core principles.
Precisely. Heng encourages us to be flexible and adaptable, but also to have a clear sense of what matters most to us and to make choices that are congruent with those values. It reminds us that true strength lies in remaining grounded in our principles, even when faced with challenges or temptations to stray from our path.
It sounds like a call to integrity, consistency, and living a life that reflects our deepest values.
Yes, and Heng also highlights the importance of cultivating patience and perseverance. It reminds us that meaningful change takes time, and that by staying committed to our goals and values over the long term, we can achieve lasting success and fulfillment.
Right. It's about recognizing that Rome wasn't built in a day, and that true accomplishment often requires sustained effort and dedication.
Exactly. And Heng also encourages us to find joy in the process, to appreciate the journey, and to celebrate small victories along the way. It reminds us that life is not just about reaching the destination, it's also about savoring the experience.
Okay, so Hang is a reminder to stay true to our values, to cultivate patience and perseverance, and to find joy in the journey. It's about creating a life that is both meaningful and sustainable, grounded in integrity and aligned with our highest aspirations.
That's a beautiful summary of Heng's message. And this theme of constancy and commitment is another important aspect of the Yìjīng's wisdom. It encourages us to live a life that is both purposeful and fulfilling, recognizing that true happiness comes from aligning our actions with our values and striving to make a positive impact on the world over the long term.
This is so inspiring. I'm starting to see how the Yìjīng offers a roadmap for not only navigating the challenges of life, but also for creating a life that is both personally meaningful and socially responsible.
It does, and it reminds us that by staying true to ourselves, cultivating positive qualities, and making conscious choices, we can create a life that is both fulfilling and impactful.
Okay, so we've explored quite a few hexagrams already, and I'm noticing some recurring themes.
Absolutely. The beauty of the Yìjīng lies in its interconnectedness. The same fundamental principles like balance change and right action are woven throughout all 64 hexagrams.
It's like a tapestry with different patterns and colors, but all connected by the same underlying threads.
Exactly. And by understanding these core principles, we can start to see how the individual hexagrams relate to each other and offer different perspectives on the same universal truths.
This is really helpful. It's starting to make the Yìjīng feel less like a collection of separate fortune-telling symbols and more like a cohesive system of wisdom.
It is, and it's this systemic nature that makes the Yìjīng so profound and insightful.
So as we continue our deep dive through the remaining hexagrams, what are some of the key takeaways we should keep in mind?
Well, first and foremost, remember that the Yìjīng is about understanding and navigating change. It reminds us that change is the only constant in life, and that by embracing this truth, we can find greater peace and fulfillment.
Right. It's not about resisting change, but rather learning to dance with it.
Exactly. And another key takeaway is the importance of balance. We've seen this reflected in the interplay of yin and yang throughout the hexagrams. Finding harmony between opposing forces is essential for creating a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable.
That makes sense. It's about finding that sweet spot between action and receptivity effort and surrender giving and receiving.
Precisely. And finally, remember that the Yìjīng emphasizes right action. It encourages us to make choices that are aligned with our highest values and that contribute to the greater good.
So it's not just about personal gain, but also about using our lives to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. The Yìjīng reminds us that we are all interconnected and that our actions have ripple effects throughout the web of life. By choosing to live with integrity and compassion, we can create a more harmonious and just world for ourselves and future generations.
This is so inspiring. It's like the Yìjīng is offering a roadmap for not only navigating our own lives, but also for creating a better world.
It is. And it reminds us that we have the power to create positive change both individually and collectively.
Well, folks, this has been an incredible journey through Yìjīng. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of this ancient system of wisdom, but I'm already feeling its impact on my own life.
It's truly a book that you can revisit again and again each time, uncovering new layers of meaning and insight.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the Yìjīng. I hope you found it as enriching and enlightening as we have.
It's been a pleasure sharing this exploration with you.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep seeking wisdom wherever you can find it.
And remember, the Yìjīng reminds us that change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Embrace the journey and choose to evolve with each new experience.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time on Books and Bites.